Hey, what is going on everybody, and welcome to Fantasia. For today, we're going to be jumping into another session of Epic 7L today. Got some more RTA clips for you guys. So again, I have been playing a lot off camera, which is really rare for me, but I've been climbing the ranks and I have some good matches to show you guys. So today, we're going to be watching two of them against Emperor players back to back. Of course, they match me into them after I go on a loss, right? But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into this first one here, going up against this guy from the European server. So my opponent got first pick, and they went for C. Lilius. I decided not to fool around here with Benimaru, and I just went for the classic ROL DJB. Fantastic counter into C. Lilius. You got the bulk, you got the mitigation from ROL, you have DJB who can cleanse, push up, and essentially help your team cut the C. Lilius, and helps keep you in the match, right? Keep up the tempo with the opponent. Now, in response to that, my opponent picked A. Ravi and Karina, so they were tanking down. The C. Lilius is there to add the vigor buff for the defense, and not necessarily there to go on the offensive with an aggro team. So that's why C. Lilius is always a very tricky first pick, because it's really easy for people to pivot from a really aggressive stance to something a bit more safe. So into the A. Ravi and the Karina, I decided Alencia has elemental advantage against the Karina, so when she's trying to attack her, I'm not going to be taking that much damage if she misses. And Alencia has injuries, so she's going to be very good into the A. Ravi. Now, I didn't want to ban A. Ravi, so I decided to counterpick 2 units into her, so I went LQC as well into the A. Ravi. My LQC, I tweaked her build a little bit. She's actually much bulkier now, trying to mimic some of the Emperor player builds that I've been seeing pop up here and there. So in response to that, my opponent goes for a Milim and a Rylot, 2 very strong nukes. Milim, of course, great into the Alencia because of the elemental advantage. Alencia will never be able to hit Milim when she gets the evasion, and Rylot is pretty decent into LQC. You got a lot of burst damage, and if there's not enough mitigation on the team, she can really easily just be burst down by him. So, my last pick here had to be something that my opponent must ban, so I went for Pirate Captain Flan because my opponent has no cleanser on their team. Karina's doesn't have any self-cleanse or anything like that either, and the Pirate Captain Flan's bombs can work really well into the evasion units. So I didn't want to work against the Milim. I found that, yeah, Milim into the Alencia means that only LQC can really deal with her, and if LQC misses, then she's not going to be hitting hard at all. So jumping into the match here, my opponent gets to go first. Of course, C. Lilius shenanigans, but DJB is hot on her heels, and it's why I love picking him into her. So he pushes up with Eternus, and C. Lilius takes the second turn. She's just going to end up going for a dual attack. So the Rylot actually getting brought along, which was probably one of the better ones for my opponent, because he gets a focus stack, and Alencia takes quite a bit of damage. Now, it didn't matter that we 15%ed the blind, because DJB is going to cleanse and push up. We get immunity for everybody. We are already on Hellcutter times 4. It's going to be times 6 by the time LQC takes her turn. So we're looking pretty good. For my ROL here, I decide, you know, if I'm going to be bonking this A. Ravi, I don't want this Karina to proc. So we're going to try to stun her, but she resists, and, you know, to be fair, my ROL, when she has her buff, only has about 70-something% effectiveness. Most Karinas are on 150 resist. So we go and do some injury damage to the A. Ravi, just soften her up a little bit. You can see she's on 17k health. However, with the Vigor buff, it's going to be quite difficult to burst through, especially because you see my LQC, she's on 18.5k health. So she is not going to be hitting as hard as she used to. Proof of Valor on the A. Ravi, barriers coming out too. It's quite a tough life here right now. Going up against the Karina, she actually hit the Alencia there too. Luckily we had the immunity, so no defense break for us. Rylot gonna go straight into the Alencia. I believe we can survive because Arwell's mitigation is so strong. Yeah, there we go, only 12k damage. And I have DJB's barrier inversion, so we're gonna go ahead and pop that, blind everybody. Now, I don't go and hit the A. Ravi here because I don't think DJB can kill with the Proof of Valor, even though she's on a sliver of health, and she self-heals, right? So I ended up just going for the Sea Lilius, which was a great play. Stunned her, so she can't be taking the turn. And here I want to strip Karina's defense buff. Oh, and lo and behold, we were able to strip it. You might have also noticed that DJB put the blind on the Karina. My DJB has no effectiveness, so this Karina has no resist, which means she 15%ed my Arwell at the start. Yeah, this Robbie was so injured, actually, that her S3 could not even kill my Alencia. So we popped the S3, managed to survive by the skin of our teeth, and with the S3 we got the defense buff for everybody, which is really great for helping LQC survive. And with that, Alencia does go down, but Alencia did also manage to strip the evasion, and DJB got a nice little stun, wasting Rylet's turn, which was quite nice. He's still on 1 focus stack, so it's still safe to hit him, so that's what I do, hoping for a lucky break here. Sea Lilius can't strip the immunity off of LQC, so we are pretty safe. And I'm on 14 times Hellcutter stacks, so this Rylet is dead. Even if we didn't crit there, he would have been evaporated. But yeah, Sea Lilius and Karina left. LQC staring them down, 18k HP. Been really happy with this recent change. I only really changed her boots from an attack boot to a HP boot, and she's looking pretty good. I've been using her in quite a few matches, and she's been performing quite well. I think the bulkier build is definitely paying off. So, with this Karina that has no resistance, I'm going to be focusing most of my attention on her. I want to see if I can strip that Sea Lilius defense buff, but no luck there. This Karina might be a effectiveness Karina. I know some people build her like that. But yeah, LQC, look at that. Chop, chop, a lot of damage. As long as I don't hit the Sea Lilius below half health, Karina won't be able to proc her defense buff. Able to stun her, again, with my zero effectiveness DJB, which is quite nice. So Sea Lilius popping off, getting that vigor buff for the Karina. And at this point, it's pretty much over, right? We have the Arwell, and we can keep putting up our defensive buffs, the barriers. And I did push up a little prematurely with DJB, I do admit that, because now I can't get rid of the attack down that's on the LQC. Now the good thing is, I do have 20 souls, as you can see in the top left hand corner, so I can always soul burn LQC and just turn cycle her through her skills. So we are going to just keep chopping away at this Karina. Look at that, ×8 Hellcutter, we have an attack down, but it shouldn't really matter all too much, because a focused hit like this onto Karina still gonna deal quite a bit of damage. Got soul burn for an extra turn, didn't even need it, by the way. And yeah, we're able to chop down the Sea Lilius, and that's when my opponent surrenders. So, I think we did pretty well with this match. LQC definitely held her own, and Alencia coming in clutch by just not going down. Okay, so we have a second clip for you guys here against this other Emperor player, Say Less. So I got the first pick for this match, and I decided to go with an Arwell's, the safest pick that I could think of, especially given that Bellion and Ed were banned. So I'm thinking this guy wants to go for a cleave or a more aggressive type of team, doesn't want to deal with Ed slinging back debuffs or Bellion preventing souls. So my opponent goes for Lua and immediately follows with a Spectre Tenebrious. I already know I'm pretty much screwed in terms of the souls department. I had to have a way to make sure that this Lua doesn't pop off. And in the back of my mind, I just like Sea Lilius, or not Sea Lilius, Fire Lilius. But I didn't pick her yet. I went for DJB and I went for LR Crow, because LR Crow, even if he gets reset by the Lua, as long as he gets hit somewhere down the line, he's gonna get his S3 back. So he's actually not too bad into Lua. DJB also, he can cleanse, push up the team, and unless Lua soul burns, DJB won't really be affected by much. My opponent then goes for Ahmed and Pirate Captain Flan, which is kind of strange because I have, you know, DJB and LR Crow, both of which can apply immunity. But with the Ahmed there, I'm thinking, well, Ahmed into Pirate Captain Flan, that is going to be pretty strong with that swift attack buff. So what I did was I started to tank up a little bit more. As you can see, I just drafted all knights. Went with Karina and Fire Lilius. So not only do I have DJB for the Lua, I have Fire Lilius as well. LR Crow's decent into Lua, and Karina, she can live a couple turns, so she doesn't really care about the reset either. Now my opponent follows up with an ML Leica. I thought, well, it's all or nothing, right? I have to ban the Ahmed, don't give my opponent the skill null, because I need to take down Spectre Tenebria as soon as possible, and same with the ML Leica, I can't let them live, right? So ban the Ahmed, they banned my LR Crow, which was quite interesting, and I'll just show you what happens next. So Lua gets to go first, as per usual, and she doesn't even go for S2 here, she just decides to go for a Soulburn S3, and I'll take it, because that means my Fire Lilius gets to pop off, and she will provoke, and her Ancient Dragon's Legacy artifact, Mort's artifact, basically reset the cooldowns of everybody here. So DJB, unaffected, they basically wasted souls on that Lua. So we get to push up with my S3, and Lilius gets to go. Now you get to see that the Leica is actually exposed here, so because of that, decided, hey, let's go for her. Let's see if we can get some damage. Now, if anybody else had attacked, especially Karina, that Leica would have gone down. But now I'm in this weird dilemma of, okay, do I stun the Pirate Captain Flan or do I stun the ML Leica? And I think ML Leica probably was the safest choice, because Pirate Captain Flan would need to S1 and try to land that bomb after stealing a buff, stealing the immunity. But I didn't trust the Pirate Captain Flan, so I went for the S3. I thought, you know what, we're going to have a lot of mitigation on our side with Arwell, and yes, I was kind of aware that the Leica would go for the Karina out of everyone here. So she Soul Burns, takes the extra turn, ignores resist, puts the target debuff on, and Karina actually lives. Now, here's the amazing thing, because Karina lived, we pretty much got this game in the bag. We have an S3, we're going to go straight into the Pirate Captain Flan. This guy's a bit more of an aggressive player, so I don't think they built the Pirate Captain Flan with too much bulk. Get that defense break, boom, and evaporated. ML Leica goes down as well. Half of Spectre Tenebria's health is also gone. Lua is not looking very healthy, and Lua is stealthed. Because she's stealth, it means that I can actually hit the Spectre, because if all units on the field are stealth, you can hit anybody as if they weren't. So that was great. Karina went down to the Spectre Tenebria, but you know what? DJB getting that S1, getting that stun in, and Arwell and Lilius would have had a free shot onto that Spectre, and it would have been game. So yeah, 2 replays against Emperor players. We've been trying our best to climb, and we're trying to adapt our builds as best as possible. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe for more Epic 7 content. And until next time, take care.